What's up, Oliver? This is going to be your video lesson. Hope you like my Red Hot Chili Peppers pajamas. This is what happens when you make videos at home at 10:30 a.m. or p.m. Okay, let's go over a new chord. It might not be a new chord. It is the Hendrix chord. Not gonna lie. It's my favorite chord. Not even gonna pretend it's not. It's just really cool. So it's the one he uses in Foxy Lady. No, you know you're a cute little love maker, Foxy. Yeah. Okay, to make sure that was the right song. Anyway, what I did with that chord was I found ways that we can take that exact fingering, which we'll go over in a second, and move it all around the neck and get like a variety of sounds, and we're never changing our hand position once. This is going to be an exercise in keeping your hand stable, so you can't let your hand morph, can't change, okay? It has to stay in this position, which I see is hard to see, and I will explain this to you in great detail. So our first chord is going to be starting on the A string, middle finger, 5th fret. Your D string, pointer finger, 4th fret. Your G string, ring finger, 5th fret. Your pinky finger, B string, 6th fret. And so for this particular chord, we're only strumming the inner 4 strings of the guitar. So E, D, G, and B. All right. You can use your thumb to mute the E string. You can use the side of your middle finger to mute the E string. You can try not to hit the E string too hard, both of them, the low one and the high one, by aiming for the middle 4. Don't just strum your whole guitar willy-nilly. You can actually aim for the middle 4 a little bit. Okay, you can use kind of a lighter picking technique so that you're not just slamming all of the strings too hard. It might seem like I'm chucking away the guitar hard and just like carelessly, but really I am kind of aiming for the middle, and I'm using a softer, I'm using less pressure on the pick. Alright, so what I did there, did you catch that? I played the chord, pushing my fingers down into their frets, and then the moment I hit it, I stopped the sound of the guitar by just lightly lifting my fingers off the fretboard, not off of the strings, just off of the fretboard. Alright, so it gives us that nice, stubby, short, staccato feel. Okay, so 2 of those. I haven't played the groove yet. Here's the groove. Let's hear that again. Okay, so all that is this initial finger position that I described to you, but we have moved it to 3 different locations. So the first one is where I described, starting on the A string on the 5th fret. Now, whenever I play chords like this, if you still have your fingers in that position, or you can put them there, my middle finger is the one that's closest to me, and I kind of think of my closest finger as the one that's leading the chord. Basically, if I were to say, play this chord on the 5th fret, I'm talking about where you're placing your middle finger. Okay, so we're going to play this chord again, but we're going to have our middle finger on the 5th fret of the E string. Okay, so we've got, cool. All right, then, so we're back and forth. We'll practice doing 2 hits on the first chord, 2 hits on the second chord. Okay, then we're going to go A string, 7th fret. That's your middle finger position. Same shape overall. Okay, so we got basically these are your 3 positions. You've got position 1, position 2, position 3. Okay, Position 2, where you're on your low E string on the 5th fret with your middle finger, you're only strumming the first 4 strings. You're only strumming the strings that you're fretting. It's really hard to say. You're only strumming the strings you're fretting. So, okay, we're not trying to get the B and the E string in there. All right, so. Okay, you hear that short, that attack and release on every chord. Okay, I don't know if I mentioned, but this is kind of like a, sort of like a fake, but close approach to like a style of guitar playing called gypsy jazz. I can recommend a guy named Django Reinhardt that you might be really interested in. He was a guitarist who played fiery fast acoustic guitar in this gypsy jazz style. He was in a fire. Funny I mentioned fire. He was in a fire and escaped with his life, but he was so burned in his fretting hand that I believe he lost like 2 fingers. So this guy is playing faster than blazes with 3 fingers. So, so no excuses. Also, be careful around fires. Okay. I'm just going to play it for you a couple times on loop. This is what you're trying to achieve. It's just these 3 chords. The hard part is playing them with the correct style, getting that silence in between each chord. Sounded like a robot there for a second. Last time. Here's the other part I made up. Okay, that was my take on those 3 chords, and I added a couple more. They're all the same shape. You get all of these chords. All the same hand position. And all you have to do, I say it as if it's an easy thing to do. It does take some time. All you have to do is be able to maintain that hand position and move it from string to string, move it up frets, down frets, and keep that shape. It's the hardest thing to do as a young guitarist, I feel like, because your fingers aren't stable, strong, like pillars of power yet, like mine, but it will be the more time you put into it. Also, if you have an acoustic guitar at home, this is going to sound even better. You should play this clean on your amp. Don't do it dirty. It might sound awesome with distortion, but for beginning and forever, actually, anytime you're playing something on guitar, sometimes, more often than not, I have a few guitar friends who would agree with me here, it's good to play things without the distortion on first, so that you can guarantee that you are playing cleanly and that all of your notes are coming through properly and you're playing with good style. Then, when your accuracy is perfect, your style is perfect, when you turn on the distortion, it's only going to sound that much better. Because you may have noticed it's kind of easy to turn on the distortion and you can play like kind of crappily and it'll still sound awesome. But, and I mean kind of awesome. It's like a guitarist will tell. It's like, hey, that kid's technique is not right. But it's kind of easy to just goof around with a bunch of distortion on and just kind of sound like you're a rock star. But play clean first. And that way you get all the details under your fingers. Then turn on the distortion and you'll be that much better. I'd stop the video now, but I'm just going to play it for you one more time because I feel like I messed up a little bit on a chord or two. So here it goes. Oh, last note. After every second strum, you can actually kind of come up. You can go down, down, up, 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 down. Kind of gives you that in between sort of like duh, chuck, 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 chuck feel. It's cool. Okay, that's it. See you next Tuesday.